that is willing to take people like this and literally just send them to Afghanistan, that's who I'll vote for. That's going to be my guy. Sorry. That's what's going to happen. And anybody who tries to talk to a kid about being trans, or somebody that did like an operation on a kid, or gave a kid hormones for being trans and the kid was 13, now you're going to jail for 20 years for something that you did back then, and now you're being retroactively punished for it. That's right. That's right. That's
So he just admitted that what he does in order to enact his will is to oppress people, jail them, and deport them, which is proof again that he believes in oppressing the people that he thinks different than him, because he again used children as a shield, because his talking points have no ground or basis until he uses the victimization of children in order to shield his accusations against people he sees as lesser. And of course, this can appeal to every single talking point when you use children as a shield. What if you teach my kids to be black or brown? What if you teach my kids to be gay? What if you teach my kids to be extremely oppressive and evil? You can deport anyone you want if you use brutality, which is why there's Darwinism through brutalism and then Darwinism through humanity, which humanity would be the most humane principle, which is, of course, our biological need to help each other. Because if you're not biologically understanding of helping people, you're an inhumane person, which is the opposite of humanity, which means you want to apply an animalistic perspective, the same as an animal in the forest, where it kills a disabled animal, or it kills one of its own because it doesn't reproduce, or it's just angry at it. Therefore, the animalistic perspective of the inhumane will be governed by brutality and not through acceptance or progressive value. So now someone has the right to kill you for dating a porn star. Someone has the right to kill you because you dated a woman who was not virgin when you met them. Someone has the right to kill you for being an interrace because you're not living in accordance to what is normally a social acceptable perspective. And because of that, you're ruling through brutality. That brutality will come around and start to control you back, right? So someone like Asmongold could be seen as a creep or a weirdo because in a normal society of white men, you're supposed to have a wife and kids by his age, and now he is seen as a pariah or outcasted or even deported because now you're supposed to have that normal standard of life, and if you can't have one, you have to go purchase one or purchase a slave or purchase your lifestyle because now you're seen as an outcast or lesser, to which now you have to start voting for your rights of being seen as a human because you have the right to be essentially a lonely, sad guy who plays video games all day and is bigoted. Because even in your brutal society, they'll start to push competitiveness through the perspective of the principles of being more civil through brutality, which means they now have the right to push him down. Because when you start to accept pushing people down to make yourself the higher up, they run out of people of color, they run out of gay people, they run out of women that are always fighting back. And now you have a society of men fighting men, and a society of men fighting men would again kick them out through Darwinism, through brutality and the inhumane condition.